Hello to my Virgos. This is Queen Amon-Ra coming to you with your general reading, Virgos. We're going to dive right on in. We are going to dive into your reading. All right. We're going to dive in. You are rule 6th house. You rule 6th house. And 6th house is about wellness, health, and wellness, right? Mental and physical health. It's about your daily routine and your schedule. All those wonderful things, right? You all are earth signs. Obviously, you're ruled by Mercury. The Mercury, you know what, is going to go retrograde in November. It goes retrograde again in November. This will be the third time this year it goes retrograde again. November 9th, I believe. And a fire sign. I want to say it goes retrograde in Sagittarius this time. I want to say it goes retrograde November 9th. Yep. So get prepared for that. Get mentally prepared for that. Yeah. What I'm picking up on, because we're in Scorpio season right now at the time of filming, and all of these videos are retrograde, is a lot of people, 8th house, and Scorpio rules 8th house. 8th house is the house of intimacy and shared possessions. A lot of people are trying to break generational cycles, chains, and curses and move on. But whenever a chain is broken, whenever you're breaking cycles, chains, and curses, especially now that Pluto is going to be in Aquarius until 2043, and Aquarius is a very innovative zodiac sign, the way that you break generational cycles, chains, and curses, the fact that it's in Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is the Fool card, but it's also ruled by the World card, which is Saturn. A lot of people are going to try to be your karma, and they're going to try to make you look like a fool at doing it. Okay, so keep that in mind. All of that's happening until 2043. You're breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. No matter how you try to close out cycles in love, somebody on some part is going to try to make you look like a fool. You can just be as gentle and as humble as possible. You can be as loving, as kind as possible. Somebody's going to try to make you look like a fool. And it's always going to be somebody in their circle. Because it's somebody that they're still hooking up with. Remember, this is happening in stages, in phases and stages. We have 8 major moon phases within one cycle, right? So that gives people an opportunity several times a week to flush out or to purge these toxic energies around them, right? And so a lot of people are doing all kinds of magic, right? In their element, whatever they feel safest with doing in their element, right? So you all could have some unrequited love, and which is, love is just, unrequited love is just a message from the universe saying that person doesn't deserve you, and to just really listen up and move on and find that one true love who will love you for all of who you are, right? So you want to remove the focus from you. Do something kind for someone else, and try, just do something when you say, okay, I feel like this is all of who I am, and I want somebody to love me for who I am, right? But you're always going to have people in your circle who feels like, no, you're going to let them get away with that. Especially we're talking about Scorpio ruling 8th house. That's a house of death, right? But 8 is also money exchange. It's also money exchange, right? So usually they're going to come in twos in the pair. When you're breaking up, somebody's gonna feel like they need to take one person's side, somebody's gonna feel like they need to take another person's side, right? Doesn't really matter what the zodiac sign is. It can even be another Virgo who feels like they know you as a Virgo well enough to know, let's be meticulous and study you, right? So some people will try to use natural spells, charms, and potions, to cause you to do dark things, and you'll be confused, right? Some people are into that kind of stuff, making dolls and using herbs. So you're smelling certain things, and it's invoking certain emotions and feelings. They're putting together potions and teas and drinks and food and those kind of things. See, that's why you've been hearing, be careful of whose food you're eating. You've probably been hearing that since you were a kid, right? So source is saying you're learning how to be really careful and pay attention to not only what you're seeing on social media, because somebody says, okay, oh my God, somebody made somebody spaghetti. Okay, they putting a love spell on somebody, right? Some people don't even know what they're talking about. The point here, Virgo, is that some people will use their knowledge for good and some people will use it for evil. When you're trying to break generational cycles, chains, and curses, I'm going to keep reiterating this. There will be some people who will try to make you look like a complete fool because it's not their way of doing things. As long as you know that and you can stay focused in the midst of all of that, you know your worth and you know your value. Like I said, you all rule 6th house. Obviously, 8th house. You know, you got to double back to 7th house, which is the Justice card, right? You got to make sure you're not your own worst enemy. You got to make sure you're not your own worst enemy. So this is where your adaptability really is going to come into play. This is where your adaptability is going to come into play, right? You're having a tower moment, a total recall. Current situation, you're having a total recall of some things, is that you are amongst some energies who are impulsive. You are amongst some energies who are impulsive. They feel like something is their way or the highway, and you are having a tower moment. There it is. Do not be manipulated. You're dealing with somebody who's putting all their energy into manipulating you, whoever you are. Right? To a point they almost driving somebody to drink. So source is saying be careful because they're sacrificing you. That's what a sacrifice looks like. A lot of people miss it. This energy. They won't let you sleep. They putting all their energy into stuff. They putting all their energy because they want to. What's hidden in the Tower card. You got to remember, Scorpio and Aries are both ruled by, they both are ruled by Mars. But Scorpio is ruled by another planet, Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius until 2043, right? So somebody feels like if you're going to go along, you're going to sit there and you're in receiving mode, Virgo. You're just in receiving mode. You're in hermit mode. You're in receiving mode. You're thinking. Okay, I got to be perfect. I got to master something. Almost to a point it's literally you want to just take a drink, right? I don't drink personally. Like I said, once you are around, like I said, and this is no judgment towards people who do drink. That's your thing, whatever. But if I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I just don't really like the taste of alcohol. I just don't. So it would be rare. I would have to be around family members. I would have to be around family members. I would have to, like I said, have to be around family members. But today, personally, I'm like, even there, I wouldn't. And I don't smoke. So source is saying here we got trees here. So somebody is trying literally making your head swim, like you feel like you upside down, trying to empty you out. Doing the most as far as you're concerned. You're an earth sign. So somebody's like, okay, I'm trying to empty you out. I got to go for the gusto. I'm trying to empty you out because somebody is sacrificed. They want to sacrifice somebody else. It's almost like somebody saying, if they not being sacrificed, then you're going to be sacrificed. Okay? That's basically what somebody's saying is their way or the highway, right? This is where, Virgo, you have got to stand up for yourself. Just going along with a flow, this is where somebody got to stand up for themselves, for real. This is where facing your fears is going to help you significantly as an earth sign, right? This is where it's going to help you significantly, right? So you can place all your worries on your creator. This is where you are learning how to pray. Say, I'm placing all my fear, all my worries on the altar to my creator, whoever your higher power creator is, because somebody is trying to empty you out. They're like basically like, okay, you're not doing enough. You tried this, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work, that didn't work, and that didn't work. Okay, we need to bury somebody. We need to make them be quiet. We need to empty them out, Virgo. You come on, you got to give us some more. They want to bring a tower down, right? So here we had the Ten of Swords here. See how this person right here is thriving behind closed doors? This is letting you know, hey, that's you too, thriving behind closed doors. Once you've been around people, once you have been around people and you realize you are not safe around energies, when you realize you're not safe around energies, right, in your circle, right, in your circle. And I tell people this all the time. If in high school, like just in general, I'm the designated driver for friends. If I feel like somebody, like, well, I mean, now we have Uber and Lyft, but back in the day, designated driver. If I felt like somebody had too much to drink, I'm the friend that's going to call. You all right? Did you make it home safely? You good? Whatever, right? Somebody wants somebody gone behind closed doors, but somebody is thriving behind closed doors. This is you and some other people that are thriving behind closed doors, and somebody is still talking about bringing towers down on people. The source is saying to you, listen, you're going to learn how to use these same swords to cut every last one of those energies off, but somebody is trying to empty you out, like literally turning you upside down, head spinning. So, yeah, Three of Wands. Because this is a matter of perspective right here. Either you can look at people talking about people behind their backs, or you can look at it as like people trying to expand, taking a leap of faith and trying to expand, right? It's a matter of perspective. Just like solar plexus chakra. Solar plexus chakra, there's dark and light side to it. There's duality of everything, right? Threes are born to inspire. Just threes. What is your number? What is your life path number? Threes are born to inspire, right? And so some people are going to look at threes as being, your life path number could be 3. Threes are born to inspire. But here we go. This is where you're answering the call in your life. When you answer the call in your life, your vocation, you're going to realize the careers that you've been in you've been on your path to your answering your call your whole life, whoever you are. And so somebody's going to think you're talking about them behind their back. That's just normal. People are going to be like, oh, they must be talking about their friends and family. Not necessarily. If people are sitting around that narcissistic, really believing that you're talking about friends and family, when in actuality, you could be just making reference to something you saw on television. These energies right here, if you were speaking highly of some people, these energies would be sitting right there, chest poked out. But then would it make a sense? Because you're not talking to them, you're not around them anymore, right? But if you're speaking highly, then people will be like, I wonder who they talking about. Must be somebody around them, because they don't talk to us anymore, talking about you, right? But if you speak something negative, then they take ownership of that. Oh, hey, look, see right there, where they just said that they was talking about you. They was talking about you. So it's like you're darned if you do, you darned if you don't. Source is trying to help somebody learn how to get more structured and authoritative, talking about you, right? Hang in there with yourself. Hang in there with yourself. Stop overthinking something. Somebody is really grossly overthinking something for real. Yeah, 7 of Wands here. Yeah, I see you closing out something. I see you being able to defend your decision to move on from something without even coming across as defensive. Like, because somebody is turning you upside down using potions and magic and voodoo dolls and doing all this craziness, all of this mess, talking about somebody behind their back. Like I said, once you have been from around people for a while, there's going to always be somebody who's going to be like, oh, they're talking about you. They're talking about you. They're talking about you. Like somebody just wants to be the center of attention. Somebody thinks that you're talking about them. Somebody feels like you, no matter what you say, they're going to say that you're talking about them. But it's really their guilty conscience. That's who it is. It's their guilty conscience. They're the ones who were talking about you, because it's two sides of the sword, right? These energies were so impulsive. Whoever they are, Virgo, these are loved ones. They were so impulsively talking about you that the moment you open up your mouth, you must be defending something. What if you're not defending anything? What if you're not defending anything? You're just talking. You could be literally talking about something that you experienced indirectly experienced. You could be literally talking about something you read in the Bible, for real, or in some kind of religious text, right? everything you read in the Bible or some kind of religious text you didn't experience from Genesis to Revelation. You could have been talking about something. That's where creativity comes in. This is the Hangman. But also, this is Neptune, illusions and confusion. Somebody gonna think that you're talking about them. This also connects us with Pisces, right? So Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. So find out what your zodiac sign is in this in the 12th house, right? We're not necessarily talking about a Pisces. Source is saying some people automatically put the cart in front of the horse. Y'all have heard that saying, put the cart in front of the horse. This is what this tower card is. They so busy wanting to bring down a tower before even finding out. They don't even get to the end. They jump from the first house to the 12th house, right? They don't even know what your calling is in life. They ready to get on the phone and start talking. They ready to get to the third house, communicating. Oh, they don't know what they talking about. Some people are saying, oh, Virgo's talking about me behind my back. Some people are saying, no, they trying to expand their brand. No. They talking about us, the side of us. They talking about the other side. Then they talking about the 7th house, justice card. Let's take them to court. Then we talk about the 10th house. Okay, they competing with our 10th house. 10 and 10, right? So now somebody is saying you competing with their child. Listen, it's just too much. Somebody is saying that you competing with their 10th house. Bottom line is, it's possible for people to inspire. It's more than one star in the sky. So something has turned somebody upside down, head drained, blood rushing to somebody's head, turning somebody. Like I said, you're facing your fears. That's what it is. You're facing your fears. You're putting it on the altar. You're just praying about it. You're saying, okay, Source, I'm giving it to you, and I'm going to get some rest. I ain't even think about it no more. Right? There it is. I'm getting some rest. Y'all see me shuffle. Y'all heard me shuffling the cards. You're giving it some rest. You're getting some rest. You're like, hey, I'm just give it to Source. I'm going to let Source work it out. I'm going to let Source work it out because something don't even make any sense. Yeah. You just feel like somebody was left holding the bag, right? It's somebody's career. Somebody's career and their call on their life was affected by something, because you got people talking about people behind. You got people on the outside. You got at least 10 people on the outside talking about somebody behind their back, wanting them gone. Okay, they didn't tried everything. Okay, we took this one person. We got the one last sword. Okay, we got this one last sword. This gonna do it. We're gonna get the one that's closest to Virgo. And we're going to get this person to sacrifice Virgo, right? There's one last person. They're going to say something or do something. That's going to do it. It's going to take Virgo up out of here. Virgo going to be so distraught, overthinking. They didn't do something right. They haven't perfected something. Oh, my God, right? That's going to take Virgo up out of here. They weren't perfect. And guess what? You said, forget perfectionism. I'm in human form. I'm going to go ahead and get some rest. They don't have nothing to do with me. Something don't have nothing to do with my career and my vocation. I've been on my path to my career. All I need to do is get structured. That's it. All I need to do is get structured. Watch how quickly something happens. You'll go from having to study something for 8 hours a day to perfect it to 4 hours a day because you lived it. You lived it. Y'all know how like when songwriters write songs and they go out and perform the song? You can tell some people are just that good at acting. They've taken another spirit has taken over, right? Some people have indirectly experienced something. Like, for instance, some people have read, literally, just use the Bible for example, read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, right? They may not have experienced everything in the Bible, but every single time they read it and they study it, something different pops out at them, right? They like, oh wow, they're at a different phase in their life. It something means something different. They live it. They like, okay, oh my God, I can apply this to any part, right? Oh, I heard this about, okay, I heard about that. I heard about this. I heard about that, right? I heard about this character. I heard about that character. They may not have lived it themselves, but they read about it, right? It was almost like they were there, right? That's how passionate you are in your 10th house. In your 10th house. That's how passionate somebody is. And so somebody, whoever is in this this group of 10, whoever these energies are, so busy trying to compete and compare instead of collaborate. That's what this group is here. So it's just like trying to hang somebody, going to end up having a Hammond situation. So somebody is having a rebirth. 4 and 9 is 13. Somebody is having a rebirth. This is where Scorpio comes in, because Scorpio is a death rebirth card. Somebody is actually having a rebirth when it comes to their money. This is where you're saying your source is speeding something up for you. Source is speeding something up for you. Because some people jumped out there, some people jumped out there and swore up and down somebody. Somebody's saying that you and somebody were talking about somebody, but you and somebody are actually high vibrational, right? Two different elements. One's air, one's fire, right? But somebody was trying to put, well, you're an earth sign, obviously, right? Being more conservative with your time. Some people wanted to give air to some kind of fire to get something just like blazing hot, like it was some kind of, let's compete, like let's put this like a forest fire. But this is where the water comes in. This is Hangman here, where you start talking about sacrifices that you made, and you realize, okay, you do have a whole lot of things in common. This is where it's like, okay, puts the fire out, like it's raining. The rain comes to clear away all of that debris. You start realizing, okay, the rain wasn't coming to, listen, y'all, whoever these energies are that like to talk about people, it's a group of people who like to talk about people behind their back to keep a bunch of stuff started. All of these energies getting cut off. All of them. Because now you got 10 and 4, 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So it's just saying, once you cut all of these energies off, that's when you'll realize you are the Hierophant. That's when you realize you are the Hierophant. Because you can see it physically. You see it in yourself. You're like, okay, listen, I've been patient. I've been as patient as I could possibly be. And I'm stronger than I thought I was. Now I'm more conservative with my time. That's what you have in common with some energies. Did what I say? You be pulling out the sword. You be pulling out the sword. What's the outcome, source? You're not going back. That's the outcome. Because you got into your ninth house. Your ninth house. You went on a quest. And it's like every little thing that you say or do is a competition. It's just like everything is a fight. The energy is just put in the wrong. It's just all this misplaced aggression. It's just too much. It's too much. After a while, it's just, okay, you're not giving it any air. You're not giving it any air whatsoever. And you don't know what the issue is, right? No matter what you say. So here we have a divine abundance, right? So you were born to align with love's will, right? And serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not chase it, right? Not chase it. Yeah. So just be mindful of what you watch on social media. Just be mindful, like the movies and things, because it is Halloween, right? Or, well, we're coming up on Halloween. 31st is Halloween. So seeing a whole lot of masks, I've seen a lot of decorations. Some people have like 10 feet tall decorations in their yard. Skeletons and ghosts, and I mean, you name it. I mean, some people, they just go all out for stuff. And whoever these energies are, they're looking for any reason to hang somebody, like just to hang somebody, they're just obsessed with causing some kind of rebirth. And it causes so much anxiety it's not even funny. So any little thing that's being said about anything, they're looking for some reason. Some reason whatsoever. That's the reason why some people just don't go back. Some people, like, you see it from a higher frequency. It's something else that's going on. I saw this book when I was looking. I was like looking through my books and just seeing some of the books. And I remember this husband and wife wrote this book. Well, I got a couple of authors. well, y'all remember how the setup was. It sent me a couple of their books. I'm seeing somebody tap into their inner power as well. Somebody could be a Leo, sun or moon, but give me the courage and the power to do what must be done, right? Yeah, because I'm seeing divine abundance for you all. But I'm seeing like a book from the husband and the wife. And it's not really, because both of them, I think both the husband and wife both were on Oprah many, many, many years ago. Y'all remember when she would have her show. I don't know. I mean, I think her show went digital. Not really sure. But they had a husband and wife team on there. And both of them were pretty open. Both of them were pretty open. Her book is entitled On the Up and Up. And his book is entitled On the Down Low. Right? And just such a refreshing spin on things. And I was looking through my books and I was like, oh wow, okay, yeah. So just the how they were both kind of sharing their stories and just living peaceful, living peacefully, moving forward, right? No matter what you see, you could literally watch, like I shared there's this movie called The Red Door. One time I shared on my YouTube channel. I think it's called The Red Door. There's a part in it where this practitioner in the beginning, this woman and her husband, they move into this new house, and is a practitioner. I want to say he's a handyman, or he does like work around the house or whatever, and he's kind of introducing the wife to something, like introducing her to this whole new spiritual world or whatever. Anything could trigger anything. These energies are just looking to hang somebody out to dry. They're looking for a destiny swap, in other words, because that's what a rebirth is. They're looking for the number 8. They want to swap destinies with 2 people. And that's what this is. They want to swap destinies. So they're emptying somebody out because they want money. These energies want financial independence, and they want it fast. So they want to do it in half the time. So it's like, okay, somebody's saying we got to empty somebody out. We got to find something to take somebody to court to sue somebody. So now somebody's like, why? What is this about? Well, you told lies about somebody behind their back, and you said such and such and such, because they want to expand their abundance and their prosperity. And so anything to say that you or somebody else is lying behind their back or telling some kind of lies. So source is saying to you, you're cutting some energies off permanently. Here we have dance around your home as if no one is watching. Yeah, open your vault door. Anything. So there are signs all around you. Get focused. Get focused. So much better lies ahead. Much better lies ahead. Throat chakra cleanse. Yeah, you're protected by angels. It's time to open your vault door. So let go and let God. Yeah, this is what a destiny swap looks like. Destiny swap just looks like somebody wants your life. Like they feel like your life is better than theirs. And if you say or do something, you could be having a great day. Somebody feels like, okay, well, your life is better than theirs. Okay, you just too happy. Okay, what can I make your life? What can I do to make your life sad? Right? That's a swap. That's a swap. Right? So somebody wants you to be completely emptied out of everything, like money and gifts and spirit. They really want you to be angry, and you asking, why would you bring a tower down on me? Why would you do that? I wasn't talking about you behind your back. I was just talking about such and such. The spy is now turned on. So keep moving forward. Somebody has a bitter ex's lover that wants them. I don't know what that means, but whatever. But bitter and ex shouldn't go. That's not like peanut butter and jelly. That's like peanut butter and ketchup. She apologizes for betraying you. I don't know who she is, but you can relax. You can relax, whoever you are. You have the gift of premonition. This is forewarning here. And so one yes from God is all you need. Like I said, whatever your belief systems are, like laying something on the altar, whoever this group of energies are who likes to talk about people behind their back, it's a group of energies that like to talk about people behind their back, and they're trying to do a swap. They're upset about something, and they want somebody else to be upset. Y'all have heard the term misery loves company. So whoever these energies could be people you work with. These literally could be people you work with. When you see fire, it can even be like if you work for the government or whatever, these could be people that you work with in whatever industry you're in who feels like they're upset, they're frustrated and mad. They want you to be upset, frustrated. Any little thing that you say, this is what a lot of people have in common. This is why some people say, you know what, they're focusing on their purpose. They're focusing on their purpose. And this is the reason why some people don't go back. They don't go back to some groups or some organizations. If y'all knew how many people call me to ask me about this group, that group, and I tell people all the time, that's why you don't hear me make blanket statements about any group, because you're dealing with human beings. You're dealing with human beings, right? How can you say all human beings that's a part of a group are bad? Like, what? That wouldn't even make any sense. So anyway. But yeah, somebody is now in their ninth house. Somebody doesn't want you to come back and you don't want to come back. So the feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. And that's not even being negative. That just is. Yeah, that just is. Remember, 9 is the last single digit before we get to 10, right? 10 is the number for instant manifestation. So 9, somebody is now asking why. So the fact that you're not giving any more air, the fact that you're not talking about something anymore, like the fact that you said, you know what, other people have laid stuff to rest. They have moved on. They are operating in their north node and being successful at it. Plenty of people have the same thing in common, whether it's your job, whether it's an organization, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a friendship, whatever it is. Some people, if you say something, they want to fight. If you say nothing, they want to fight, because the fight is internal. That's what you're learning. The fight is internal. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. I see you expanding, and I see you moving. Somebody is moving. Somebody is moving. That's what this is, right? Because you're tired of walking around feeling like you have the weight of the world on your shoulder. So you could be moving jobs. That could be it. So if that's the thing, congratulations to somebody. Or you could be physically moving out here, whatever, moving somewhere. So congratulations to you, whoever. Yeah, because all of that is just anytime somebody looking to sacrifice another person, just like you just mad, you just taking all this rage and anger out on nobody say any. Just whatever. Like, what in the world? What in the world? One of my subscribers wrote this book that's really, really good. It's a short book, but it's called, I want to say, Just Let Go. Is that what the name of it is? Because it's not like right here within my reach, right here. But I saw that too as I was arranging books. But I just thought that was interesting that the husband wrote this book, his perspective, and the wife wrote her perspective on that book. And they were both, I believe, were on Oprah telling their stories. And I was like, oh, this is cool. But yeah, some people, I'm trying to tell you, y'all are learning. Let me see if there's any other oracle cards here. Yeah, you're moving on from very cold. This is the end of something. You're moving on. You're saving yourself. You're just saving yourself. You're saving yourself, and you're and someone else from holding a bag. You know, like maybe like a loved one, possibly. You're saving yourself and you're saving them, because anybody that's this angry, whoever this group is, they're just angry. They're just angry and bitter and just running to take out stuff on people and heartbroken, don't want to heal. No matter what is said, ready to lower people's abundance and their prosperity. I mean, like, what in the world? Yeah, so you just cutting ties just so you can get some rest. Somebody is just too down to earth and too relatable. You've already gone down a rabbit hole. This right here. You've already gone down a rabbit, like Alice in Wonderland or Alex in Wonderland, right? So whether you're a man or woman, doesn't really matter. You're just tired of the backbiting and fighting. You're tired of having to find a smooth stone to kind of smooth things over. Somebody is just tired. It's exhausting for real. So you have a whole new project headed your way. You're just tired of trying to find your smooth stone. It's just, I mean, my goodness. So kudos and congratulations to you. If you got to keep explaining stuff when whatever group that you're a part of, probably shouldn't even be a part of the group. No matter what you say, somebody got to explain this, somebody got to explain that. You got to be, and y'all are, pretty. And I'm talking to you wherever Virgo is in your birth chart. It doesn't have to be your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. But Virgos are very meticulous zodiac signs. Just in general, y'all know, yourselves better than anybody, right? But if you got to keep explaining every little thing, like you got to keep having this David and Goliath situations where you got to keep finding your smooth stone. You got to keep being the one that smooths things over for everybody. You got all these high anxiety energies and people ready to just, we ride at dawn, right? Everybody got their torches in hand, get ready to torch the place. We see all this fire here, and you got to be the one that come in and smooth things out. So let's just say, nah, something is giving you a headache. Something is giving you a complete headache. You just like, okay, listen, I don't want to be a part of something. And that is the reason why some people just leave. Y'all ever on a job where they just having a meeting about the same meeting, about the same old meeting? You didn't park so many stuff. You see so many post-it notes up there. You just parking everything, just a big parking lot. And you don't even know where to come back to. Just everything, just. Ooh, child. Anyway, willpower. Yeah, you're exhibiting a great deal of willpower. Yeah. 6th house. That's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. And like I said, you're speaking your truth, but a lot of people have spoken their truth. But some people are seeing some things for what they really are. That some people are just battling some kind of inner demons that's going on, and something else is going on. Something else is going on. Yeah. Like I said, everybody is connected in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It's too many books, too many movies, too many. And by the way, like I said, a lot of people got decorations. I just love the holidays, but a lot of people got a lot of decorations out here. A lot of, I don't know how people gonna clean all of this stuff up from their grass and front yards, but lots of looks like, if y'all haven't seen it, people who look like they look like spider webs. I don't even know what that is. Across people's lawns and yards and stuff like that. But anything could trigger that. That could even that for some people can trigger like some kind of childhood traumas, like if somebody was like scary movies and stuff like that. So you got to be mindful of that too. You got to be mindful of that as well. So I feel like some people are keeping that in mind, and that's where the compassion comes in for whoever this group of people are too, is that for some of them, that's where the compassion comes in, is that for them, some of that could trigger some, how people let their kids watch scary movies and they end up having nightmares about things. So that's where there's two sides of the sword. And that's where, if you got to keep being meticulous and explaining every little thing to calm people's nerves, that's why some people just say, you know what? They answered a call on their lives. They were like, they have no competition in whatever the call on your life is, because no matter what you say or do, these people can't wait to lower your abundance and your prosperity. They want to lower your money. They want to lower your value. They want to talk about you, tell people. They always in fight mode, always. They can't wait to try some kind of magic. They would go to the dark side before going to the light side of their knowledge. It's just crazy. So adjust your crown chakra, whoever you are. Adjust your crown and get some rest. Get some rest. Yeah, but these people were definitely trying to plan some kind of a too much celebrating going on. Too much clapping and cheering. Somebody had already planned that, hey, this is going to be the one. We're going to get this thing done before 2026 rolls in. And so somebody just really, really felt like, because they were dealing with some kind of internal struggles with something, that they were going to make sure you dealt with some kind of internal anger or frustration as well, Virgo. So yeah, you're not giving any more air to certain things at all. It is disappointing. It is disappointing. Yeah, this is a family member, by the way. You're dealing with an Aries. This is an Aries family member. Who never healed from something with a loved one. They never healed with something. This is 3 Aries family members that hasn't dealt with something as far as a loved one is concerned. Something they said or did, like they were cut out of something. They could be hurting from 3 different things, right? They could be hurting from this 3 Aries, but they could be hurting from 3 different things. One could feel like they was cut out of something financially. One could feel like, because you remember 3 of Swords could deal with, it deals with a lot of different things, right? It could deal with surgery. One could deal with surgery. One could deal with divorce. One could deal with, because we're talking about, like I said, the 3 of Swords, right? And a lot of different things with, like I said, a lot of different things with 3 of Swords. And talking about anything dealing with that, like I said, somebody felt like they could have been cut out of something financially. Somebody could have been, but you're dealing with impulsive spirits is what you're dealing with. This is what you're dealing with, right? And this is what you have in common. This is what you have in common with somebody. And it's 2 sides of the sword, right? But yeah, so so some energies, they don't, like I said, they will band together. What it sounds like to me, whoever you are, what it sounds like to me, and this is what you have in common, looks like, is this is classic. People don't like each other, but they'll band together on the same frequency when it comes to coming against you. Y'all ever heard that? Like they don't really like each other. And if you knew, if let's say for instance, you're the one that's not invited to certain things. If you were invited to certain things and you were the one that was able to speak your piece, Virgo, then people would hear a whole different perspective. People would hear a whole different perspective, right? These are the types of energies that like to sneak and watch you on social media, right? They will watch you on social media. This is what I'm saying. That's why you're saving yourself. This 8 right here looks like eyes, right? They'll watch you and they cold-blooded about it. Somebody came to them asking them for help. This that brought us back to 7 of Cups. What they do, they gave them something to drink, right? And then filmed it. They gave them something to drink and then filmed it by acting like we all taking pictures. Just to use, that's the setup. That's the reason why some people don't drink around their own loved ones, because they use it as a setup. Oh yeah, they drink. They have everybody in the room to say, oh yeah, we were there. Even the ones that were innocent in the situation don't know what they were there for, because they wouldn't be lying. They wouldn't be lying. But see, the thing about it is that somebody was heartbreaking is that this 3 right here is an inspired action. Does somebody in this situation here with the 7 of Cups here talk to somebody and they were heartbroken over what they heard? They never heard that person sound like that before, like they were inebriated or drunk, right? The 3 of Swords speaks to heartbreak, loss, divorce, surgery, depression, suffering, grief, all these things. So somebody was tipping over 8 cups to try to find out all these things. Well, who broke your heart? You experiencing some kind of loss. You went through a divorce, surgery, depression, suffering, grief. They want to go through all 8 of things, right? And tell somebody they were saving somebody from something, right? That's the kind of tower somebody was trying to break down. Imagine being around your own family members and you're thinking, hey, these are family members. These are family members. But instead of them using, they secretly creating something. Remember, magic, the illusion, some kind of illusion and confusion, they're all using dark moon magic to create the illusion that they're saving somebody from something, when they're the ones that put all of this in front of somebody. That's the heartbreaking part. They would not let something die. They would not let something, they wouldn't let something rest. Something they couldn't let rest. They felt like somebody lowered their abundance and their prosperity, right? They wouldn't let something rest. So they want to make sure everybody around them, wherever these energies are, they want to make sure everybody around them, their abundance and prosperity was lower, so theirs could be increased. That's almost like somebody saying, somebody speaking too highly of you and your family, Virgo. And so somebody says, oh yeah, they not perfect. Let's get them around some people that's drinking. But not only, let's make it worse. Let's get their kids around, their adult kids around them drinking too. See if they start talking about them as well. And let's film it, let's record it, or let's get some people that's going to be witnesses to this. So when it's 7 of Cups, which is Justice card, right? We got a recording and we can take it to court and say we were saving this person because this person was heartbroken. This is why they drink, right? They experienced some kind of loss. They've experienced divorce. They've gone through surgery. They're depressed. They're suffering something and they're grieving. I mean, my goodness. And then you around family members and they doing this? Wow. So the person that came to them for help is even more heartbroken and can't rest because they did it under duress. Lord have mercy. So this is the reason why some people don't ever go back. This is the reason why some people don't go back. Now there's a Sagittarius involved in something that's just like, oh my God, what did I do? Because somebody went along with a flow. Because they were brought in after something. Somebody was brought in after a fact. So this is what's going on. This is what's going on. This is why somebody exhibits willpower. How about you? So you went down a rabbit hole. You're moving on. You're moving on. You're not going back. Somebody has to be so detailed and descriptive as to why they don't go back to being around certain people. Somebody is literally dealing with the heartbreak of one Aries cutting these 3 Aries out of something for various reasons. And something was communicated. Something could have been communicated in writing, or they could have said something. Something was communicated. However something was communicated, somebody's name wasn't on somebody's birth certificate, somebody didn't have somebody's last name, somebody didn't get married, something happened. Somebody was, something was written somewhere. So this right here, this is also interesting too, because 3 and Ace is 4. So somebody was trying to prove that, this is somebody trying to prove that somebody was unstable, right? Because 4, you think about 4 legs. Somebody was trying to say somebody was unstable when it came to love. That's what somebody was trying to say. Somebody was unstable when it came to love. Except when people started looking through other stuff, yeah, people realized that somebody saved themselves. Somebody was unstable. They could have been saying that you were unstable. Anyway, bottom line, you're learning how to keep people out of your business. That's what you're doing. You're learning how to keep people out of your business. Yeah. So your back is against the wall. You can really start praying about it. These energies, they love to pull people into some drama, chaos and confusion. So you and somebody walking away. You and somebody are walking away. You realize some people master some stuff. Yeah. And seeds have been planted. Some seeds have been planted. And somebody finally grew up. Somebody finally grew up. So you're about to move into a softer life. Much, much softer life. That's what I'm saying for you. This is a pretty lengthy reading for you all, but you're definitely not going back. And this is the reason why some people just don't go back. There's a reason why some people don't go back. You give compliments. These are family members. These are your family members. Your family members or friends or whomever. And it could be work family, your personal or your professional family, just so we're crystal clear, because family is not always blood relative, but it could be. But you have love coming across your path, whoever you are, if that's what you want, coming across your path. But you won't be going back to this group of energies at all. You're done. You're just so done. Yeah. And so Sagittarius rules ninth house. So you may be your ninth house may be Sagittarius. That's why I mentioned Sagittarius. Your ninth house may be Sagittarius, or may not be Sagittarius. But whatever it is, you've done. You moved on. That's what I have for you, Virgos. I know this is a lengthy reading for you, but yeah, you're in a very vulnerable position because someone was trying to empty. Somebody was trying to. This is a sacrifice right here. Yeah, somebody was trying to end somebody with a bunch of illusions and confusions. So, and this is in the people. This is the people that you're around. These are the people that you're physically around. Somebody was trying to use that one last sword to say, this is within your group of energies. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. All right, bye.